You look at any list that'll say the best horror movies of all time, the scariest movies of all time, you'll see The Exorcist top those lists, and it's kind of hard to argue with that, really. It's just almost obligatory, because it is such a scary film, and it did affect the world in such a way, and it still does. I mean, the movie really definitely holds up. You know, it is one of the best horror movies, if not the best horror movie, if you even want to call it a horror movie, because I know there would be a debate about that as well, because I would say if they were aiming to do it as a horror movie, you have a certain idea in your mind of what a horror movie would be, and what the intentions behind making a horror movie would be, if that makes sense. Like, if it's a horror movie, kind of the intention is, hey, we're going to make something that's going to scare the shit out of people, so we're specifically making this type of movie to make people scared, right? Which I wouldn't say necessarily is what the intention of the film is, not necessarily at least. So if it's a horror film, it's a horror film incidentally instead of intentionally, if that makes any sense, because really where it lies here is telling this drama and doing it in such a way that it's absolutely genuine. It really feels much, in the patented William Friedkin kind of way. It does feel in a similar sense to what The French Connection was going for with its cop story. It does feel very much documentary-like. So it does feel like this is something that could really happen, that is really happening in front of us for those 2 hours. Such a perfect choice of a director to direct William Peter Blatty's novel, which his novel, it was somewhat based on a true story. By all claims, it is fairly accurate to a certain extent to the real events that took place. Not that with this movie they marketed it in such a way that, oh, this is based on a true story, this really happened, which you see with like every fucking horror movie lately, which just, it's stupid. Like, this is based on a true story, The Conjuring is based on a true story. Okay, I don't know, whatever. With this movie, it definitely doesn't need to say it that way, because the movie doesn't need to say that, because it feels real. Forget the scariest movie of all time. This is one of the most, effective and provocative films of all time. This movie was a phenomenon in 1973, and its reputation still holds true. I think the movie still holds up very, very well.